Hi class, this is a really quick overview of your week 1 for web design. The main thrust of the course this month is going to be your user experience, and you're going to be building your portfolio. You're going to be making sure that you look at the mobile as well. That's kind of a difference between those of you who took editing for the web. Now you're going to be focusing a lot on your mobile site as well. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible. This, in some cases, won't be new content. For some of you, it will be. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please just contact us, and we will, or any one of your instructors, and we'll make sure to get you the answers that you need to get you on your way. All right. There is a video that is appointed in this particular class. And it's a very short description of what UX is. And basically what it means is that it is everything that is involved with your brand. When you look at the university that you're going to, it isn't just your platform, your FSO, that's the interface that you're working with. But it's also, if you come to campus, it's the classrooms, it's the design, it's the culture that is created for you and for faculty. It's the events that happen. All of that is the user experience, okay? But it is also includes the interface, the user interface, such as your web design. And that is something that is a part of UX, but that would be the UI, user interface. So that's really the distinction. It's not a complicated definition. It's really simple. But the user experience is everything, and it's everything that touches your brand. It's your support system. It's just everyone that you need or come in contact with, every technology, attitude, all of those things add up to the user experience. But we will talk about the user experience as it relates to web design or to the UI. So it focuses on first understanding deeply your user, what their needs are, what their values are, what their abilities are, and what their limitations are. All right, so we will get into accessibility this month as well. So here's kind of a great image here. The UX here, the user experience, isn't what this particular location designed for. So you can see that this is mapped out, according to a blueprint and so forth, but not necessarily to the user experience. Interestingly, UCF, before they put in their sidewalks, they did just that. They let the people, the students, walk throughout the school so that they could see exactly where those particular sidewalks should be. So that's the user experience that we want to think of when we are building our site. We want it to make sense. We don't want it to just be aesthetically pleasing but not be readable, for example. Okay. UX best practices improve the quality of the interaction with any product or related service. It's always from the client perception and perspective. So it is useful, it's usable, findable, desirable, accessible, and credible. Can they trust you? So good UX design is useful, usable, desirable in that it evokes emotion and appreciation aesthetically. And it fulfills a need, that it actually even has a purpose. It's findable, easy to find, accessible to people with disabilities, credible. Can users trust the links and the different sources that you provide? So the UI design focuses on the response to interacting with the product's technical or mechanism. And what that means is that could be your washing machine. Okay, it could be anything where you're actually interacting with that particular technology. Okay, that's the interface. and it's a part of the user experience, and that's what makes it important. So, is there standardized design for web? Yes, there is. And it's preferable because when things are standardized, then they work better across multiple browsers and our mobile devices. They help support things like the images and the text and scripts. So it's important to have those standards. Here's a couple simple ones. We have home always on the left. Generally, it's the first option. And we usually have contact on the end because that's the last thing that people are looking for. It's the last thing we want to offer them. This is a very simple, clean site here. It has a nice logo. Ordinarily, this would be too much detail for producing smaller versions, but it works out all right for where this has been used, and it has enough separation that it actually works. So this would be considered a nice clean site, something that you would strive for. This is the contact page. You might have something like this a little larger up here as a title, but otherwise this is all really clean, makes good sense. Everything is above the scroll, and that's something that you found in the Ten Commandments that you either have looked at or will look at. So Fitts Law, it simply means that it's faster to hit larger targets closer to you than smaller targets farther away. So it's easier, right? If you think about car brakes and stops, the pedals are closer and larger than start buttons, right? The stops. That's because for safety reasons, we need to be able to hit that target quicker. So the easiest location on the screen to use as a target, corners will stop horizontal and vertical movement. And so that's why you'll see so many buttons down on the right, for example, the right hand, or on the bottom or the top, or in these corners, because if somebody, either a young child or somebody with dexterity issues, could be an older person with Parkinson's, when they want to hit that button, hopefully it's large, and that would be associating with Fitts Law, right? So it's large enough to strike that target. And also if it's at the corner, they're not going to overshoot. So those are some standards that are really helpful and important to remember. You probably have seen those little radial buttons, and frankly, those are really hard to hit for a lot of people. They're just not big enough when you could use the whole phrase or the word. So the longer and larger targets are going to be best. We need to have signposts on the home page, landing page, or category pages. These are for people to be able to quickly learn where they are to navigate. And for many people, memory could be an issue. And so we want to always provide those breadcrumbs, all right? You have your analysis this week. That's your competitor research. And you're just going to compare 3 related sites to your portfolio choice. It could be a client that you want to target, and you want to look at maybe 3 of those and notice how their culture works, or how their site is developed. It could be a cinematographer that you want to look at, 3 of them, and you're going to compare those. And you're also going to compare the mobile sites as well. So you'll take screenshots and include those. You can go to MobiReady and put your link in for these sites, and it will show you what they look like on their mobile. Only it will show up on your desktop, so you can actually screencast it or whatever you want to do. All right, so thank you for watching this tutorial. Good luck and good night.